Good morning, boys. So today we're going to learn basically about temperature, okay? Temperature. All right. Before we get to temperature, we have to go back to something from last lesson. It's called kinetic energy, remember? It's the energy of movement. Kinetic energy is the energy, okay, of movement. So when something is in motion, like this guy is moving, we say he has kinetic energy because he's moving, okay? The more mass or the bigger the object is, the faster it is traveling, the more kinetic energy. So the energy of motion is called kinetic energy. This is just a reminder of last lesson. Okay, sorry, I wrote this wrong. Reminder. Okay. Temperature, okay, is related to kinetic energy. We're going to see how here. Okay, but first, we have these two bottles of water. You have bottle number 1, and then you have bottle number 2. So bottle number 1 has been sitting in the shade, okay, and it's kind of colder. Bottle number 2, it's been sitting in the sun, and it's kind of warmer. The temperature in this bottle is higher. You can see this thermometer here, and the temperature here in this bottle is lower. So they have different temperatures, okay? Two bottles look the same, but if you touch them, one will feel cold and the other will feel warm, okay? Because the temperatures of the bottles look different, okay? Sorry about this word. So two bottles of water, one has been sitting in the shade and the other has been sitting in sunlight. This one is warmer because the sun has made it warmer. This one is colder because, well, it's been sitting in the shade and no sun has reached it to make it any warmer, okay? Now look at this. This is the water inside. Okay, this box here, it's representing the water inside each bottle. So in this cold bottle over here, the movement of the particles of water is kind of slower than here in the warmer one. You see these ones, they're moving faster. Okay? So when you have the temperature is colder, okay, you have less particle movement. So the movement of the particles is less. That means you have less kinetic energy because kinetic energy is the energy of movement. So if they're moving like slower, so that means they have less kinetic energy, and that means that the temperature is lower. Okay, it's not high, it's cold. Okay, and that means that less particle movement. So you have all these three. Now look at this one. This is in the sunlight. It's warmer. The particles are moving faster. Okay, that means more particle movement, more kinetic energy, and it means they have a higher temperature. When the particles move faster, the temperature is higher usually. So temperature is a measure of the average kinetic energy of all the particles in an object. So temperature is the measure of the kinetic energy. If you see here, it has more kinetic energy. That means it has a higher temperature. You look at the thermometer here. Okay? It does not depend on the material type. Okay? Or the substance. Temperature only depends on the movement of the particles inside. And the hotter an object is, the faster the particles are moving. So here, in the warm bottle, the particles are moving faster. In the cold bottle, the particles are moving slower. Okay? So this is what it means. We have two kinds of thermometers. Okay? A thermometer can check the temperature in Fahrenheit. Look at this. It's 98 Fahrenheit. Or in Celsius. Okay? Here in the United Arab Emirates and pretty much all the other countries, they use Celsius, but in the United States they use Fahrenheit. I don't know why. It's just they use different kind of representation of temperature, but it's the same, but one is written in Celsius and the other in Fahrenheit, and the numbers differ because the calculations differ. But we have, anyways, you don't have to worry about that. All you gotta know is we have two kinds of thermometer. The first kind is called analog. Analog is when you have liquid inside. This is mercury, and when the temperature is hotter, mercury expands, and it keeps expanding until it shows you how much the temperature is. Okay, so this is analog thermometer. The level of the liquid shows the temperature. The digital, you just see a number. Like you can see it over here. This is a digital thermometer. It shows the number. Okay, this one shows a liquid inside which reaches the temperature and tells you what temperature. This one shows a number. Okay, that's it for today. It's pretty easy. Please finish the worksheet. Good luck.